All right. Welcome to another episode of Till the Dirt. This is the Shahs Rewatch. And just a little bit. So I'm going out of town this weekend. I'm going to a wedding. And this is really the only time that I had to record this. So I think my son's having a play date in the other room. That could turn into something. He could come attack this room at any point in time. The next door neighbor decided that, yeah, today's the day I'm gonna fucking pour some concrete. So we got that in the back too. So if any of that stuff comes up, I apologize. But in the meantime, let's get down to business. The Shahs Rewatch. We're doing season 2, episode 7, and we have a fantastic guest with us today. She's actually, she goes back with my wife for a while. They know each other for a long time. So introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Yvette. I actually met Mercedes. It's actually going to be going on 20 years. I'm born and raised in LA. My cousin actually lived 2 floors above her in her Doheny one bedroom. As I know, most people know, her parents also lived in the unit in the building. So I know both of her parents as
And for
well.
those that watch Shahs, that when my wife is doing the remodel, which will come a few seasons, that's actually when I'm on the show too. That condo is the one that you're talking about.
Exactly. So I've known her for a few years. So I have some fun, like maybe little insights to Mercedes back then before Tommy that I could probably contribute.
Well, I mean, first things first. You said you know her for 20 years. Um, how old was she then? Because she's probably going to tell you she's the same age right now as she was then. Yes,
Well,
it's
she
Yvette.
did lie to me about her age. Oh, there she is.
No, no, I'm not going to be listening to you guys can talk about me while I'm gone. I don't lie about my age.
Yes, she does. She doesn't even she lies about her birthday. How's
Yeah.
that? Like she lies about her birthday, not even her age,
If you
her
feel like
birthday. Like she doesn't even give you a straight answer on the birthday. And God forbid you ask Vita how old she is or when her
No,
birthday is. Jesus Christ.
I know. It's
Well,
so
man.
cute. She
Well,
definitely never
man.
told me her age, but of course, well, as we'll get into in this episode, they revealed her year that she
Yes,
was born.
yes, yes. The age
So,
that the government knows, which could
yes.
also be false, because I don't know if Vita was being accurate with them. Um,
Right? So I feel like I don't wanna tell you guys no, but she's so it was probably in my early 20s. So you could
okay,
just we'll
okay.
keep it at that in case she doesn't want us to know her age.
Yeah, and she was she still the wild party animal then that she certainly shows to be in this picture in this episode.
Oh, she was wilder when I knew her, which is when she told me about this show, I was so shocked she was going to do this because I was like, "Girl, you know, like, what you look like when" because I always saw I mean, like, her partying and her stories she would tell me. Because if I it was in the summers, we would hang out at the pool, I would see her roll in every Saturday and Sunday, coming in from wherever she was at the night before, just like in Mo-Cedes More Problems hair and her dress.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this show at this point, this is season 7 of episode. I'm sorry, see episode 2. Well, this is episode 7 of season 2. And the first season had 6 episodes. So all told, they're at 13 episodes. And my wife has already waterfalled straight alcohol in nightclubs twice.
Yes.
So that's got to be some sort of fucking record. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And for a woman to do it, like I said, her and Snooki should have they should do a reboot of Cagney and Lacey or fucking, some other like maybe they go solve mysteries or they go ghost hunting because one of them should be the other one's stunt double. If they
I
have a
mean,
fucking it's like watching, but I really hope my son um
doesn't see it.
I mean, to be honest, but it's not fair either because I promise you, if a camera crew was following me around in, my
She's in
peak,
yes, she was
then
those were her 30s, so
there'd be there'd be nothing. This would be nothing that she's
I
doing.
agree.
I promise she's a little old for this. You know what I mean? She is a little old for this.
I think they
Now that,
said in this episode she was 40. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
knew her in her like I met her in her early 30s. So
Okay, yeah. Oh, so
she
she
didn't
said.
stop at all.
Oh, so she said. But no, I don't want to get too far in because when
Yes.
the episode starts, they're still dealing with the fallout from the dinner, which I feel like we've actually discussed ad nauseum on the pod because like I rewatched it like 5 times because I fucked up with the episoding. So I don't want to continue just to beat that drum. But yeah, it was a shitty dinner. It was a shitty fight. Obviously everybody there, I think, had a long day already at that point of filming, drinking, and so that it's more of that. So that it opens up with the fallout of that at the hot tub or whatnot. But like
Yeah.
Reza still looks like he's toasted. He looks like he's drunk. Lilly.
That hot tub was awful. Just them three sitting there, just talking about Mercedes, and it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this season they're trying to take MJ down. They're trying to, but you can't, man. You know what I mean? She's resilient. She bounces back like a rubber band. So
Yep.
plus this show would be boring as fuck if my wife wasn't on it. You know what I mean? You can say whatever you want. Like this episode, it's all her, it's all her being a nut.
And then it's them, they bring up
Reacting
the
off of it.
Yes.
Reacting off of it, but she's still the centerpiece of whatever's going on.
And they're setting up, well, at least we know because of hindsight, the Reza was kind of setting up this scene about her pill popping, and then
yeah, when we get to that late, I definitely did not like the fact that they went rooting through my wife's purse. That's not cool, man.
It's
then everybody's got to show their purses. You know what I'm saying? I get to go through everybody's shit. Let me go in there. Let me go in Rez's room. Let me look in his drawer because I know how he likes to party too. You know what I'm saying? Let me go see if fucking Lily's. Let me see when she goes to the bathroom. Maybe she's throwing up in there. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is it's not nice to put everyone's guts on the street and not or my wife's guts on the street, not everyone's. You know what I mean? That's not fair and it's not cool. Because I'm sure everybody's walking around with shit that they don't want everybody in the world to know about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, and he brings out her driver's license, knowing Mike luckily had her back.
Because I mean, Mike knows. You know what I mean? Just think if that was his mother. You don't want your going through your mother's purse sitting there. That's crazy.
Never allowed.
Yeah,
never.
But even before we get there, Lilly is still really trying to drive this home that my wife has a problem.
I know.
And like she's trying to make this a storyline. You could tell it's falling on fucking deaf ears because no one really gives a shit. You know what I mean? And it's coming from her, and she's so. You know what I mean? Like if it came from someone else, let's say it even came from Reza. Like, listen, I drank and I have a good time, but I think you're taking it a little far. Then maybe you have some meat on that bone. But coming from Lilly, it's like no one even wants to hear it because it's like, yo, we're tired of you fucking being so boring, and she really is boring. I thought that was a great scene on the yacht, though, because it was the first time that you kind of saw the other people hit. It's like, wow, you got the depth of a puddle, dude. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not knocking the other people around you and, talking about like what you're trying to sell with the bathing suits, which I respect. When we get into you, there ain't much there, dude. You know what I mean? It's I want to be perfect, or like what?
And the one time she did like chime in a conversation, she was talking about her cellulite.
Yes,
like even Reza and Mike's face, they were just like,
oh no, they looked like they were done. I wrote that as a note. They look like at that particular time, because again, I've been on these trips, right? And these aren't kids; these are grown-ups. And you've come to a faraway place. You've landed. You're partying it up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure and a lot of not just pressure, but like there's cameras everywhere. It's a lot. They've been through a lot already in 24 hours, and now they're on this boat. Listen to this, man. You could just see them both like. I don't want to hear any more of this. You know what I mean? And I think it's rude too, because Asa is far from a skinny mini. My wife
I
isn't
know.
either, so when you're talking about like, I just feel like it rubs people the wrong way.
But their bodies are fine and normal. I mean, of course, in
Yeah.
comparison, I mean, they're gorgeous. They're like, they have normal
I'd much
bodies.
rather roll in the hay with my wife than with Lilly. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean? Forget,
comparison to Lily's
and you can
body.
put my wife's head on Lilly.
Oh
You
God.
know what I mean? Like you could put my wife's head on Lilly. My wife's beautiful, but that's just not. It's not my. You know what I mean? It's never been tall. Like, listen, there's tons of men out there that would tell me I'm crazy. You know what I mean? So it
But I
takes
think
all types to make a
not
world.
as many as you think. But yes,
Yeah, but
I
it takes
get
all
it.
types to make a world. My only point is like for you to put yourself into that type of box and have that type of pressure on yourself to strive for perfection when to me, you're never going to be perfect because it's not what I like. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So like, it's just setting unrealistic expectations for
And
yourself.
even Asa was like, what are through those like layers? Even Asa was like uncomfortable because she
No,
said,
she
"Oh,
she
I'm
made a
happy.
she made a
I'm
salient
confident."
point. She
Yeah.
made a salient point because again, even from the structure of the show, you could tell that they want her to kind of buddy up with Lilly and
Yes.
be with Reza, and
The
then everybody's
allies.
kind of anti MJ. But
Yes.
she's even sitting there like, yo, I don't know how to get down with this. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because she's not really a drinker or partier either. So they do have that in common. But at the end of the day, like I got to get Sally. And he's like, and she didn't shut up. Like literally, that sound like if you sat with this woman for 20 minutes, that's what you're gonna, that's all you're gonna hear, and it gets annoying. I would think after a while, want to
Oh,
throw her overboard.
I mean, at least Asa, she goes out, she has fun, she parties, like she's not like
Yeah,
sitting there
she's
complaining about how dirty and ugly drunk people look.
100%, and I do think that, like Asa, I guarantee you, if it weren't for the show, wouldn't be doing these type of things. It's not
Correct.
necessarily who she is, right?
Mhm.
I'm not saying she wouldn't go on a nice boat or whatever. I'm saying like going out and wilding and getting
Yes.
drunk. It's not her, dude. So she's stepping out of her comfort zone to
Yes.
do something. I respect that. You know what I
Me
mean?
too.
I respect that. And she doesn't lose herself. She doesn't get like so drunk. She doesn't, she does enough to maintain and still be on the same wavelength as everybody else.
Yep.
Lilly thinks she's better than everyone. It's clearly from like the time that she's come in it that she thinks she's superior to the other people around her. And, not when everybody else is who you think you're better than, then you don't look good. It's not like she's got 3 or 4 other people like her, and then their point, you know what I mean? Everybody else is a drunk nut, and you
I
think you're
know.
better. It's not going to come off well on TV. You know what I mean? You should have
Yes.
did a show with other fucking people that don't drink and want to, go yachting. So I don't know, man. I think she just mismatched.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I don't think in real life she would have been friends with anybody in this group. She just doesn't
Yes,
fit.
I agree. Like, I don't even think she'd be friends with Reza.
Oh,
You know what I
absolutely
mean? Like
not.
that bestie, we're besties. Like
Yeah.
to this day, I do know they are friends.
Oh,
Like
okay.
like I know she like her birthday party or like my wife and Lilly they do not like each other. If
Yeah.
I haven't stressed that on this podcast before,
Right.
I'll let you know. My wife and Lilly do not I don't know what my Lily's opinion is, but I know my wife
Right.
does not like Lilly. But
Yeah.
she's still friendly with Reza and Gigi. I don't think Asa, but I don't think Asa's friendly with any of the people that were on the show.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but that being said, I agree with you, though. I don't think that would be like she would never, if they didn't meet on the show, I don't think she'd be friends with Reza or Reza's type. It just doesn't, she doesn't strike me as the type that, you know
And
what I
did she
mean?
come in as a friend of Reza? Do you know? Like, why did they
Well, no,
introduce
when
her
they
to the
brought
show?
her on, they brought her for the property. He was showing her property.
Okay.
And then, she was main cast pretty much right away because it's only season 2.
So
So
they
the
just
only,
brought her, I mean, the producers brought her in. It wasn't like,
yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you could tell just from watching, if you're really looking at it, they brought her in to be a rival to my wife.
yes.
She's like, you know, bizarro world Superman. You know what I mean? Like everything my wife does, she does the opposite.
Yeah.
So if you're at home watching, you're gonna pick a side. You know what I mean? You're like you're kind of already been conditioned to love Reza. And then whatever girl is going to be with him, you're either going to be a fan of Asa or you're going to be a fan of my wife.
But then it's kind of doubling down because we know Asa's like, oh, she's jealous of mine and Reza's friendship, and they started a buddy. So then to have two people as allies against Mo-Cedes is just so weird. I don't know if it's like Reza wanted to bring her down in a way.
Well, I think part of it's Reza self-producing too, because I think he knows to get season. Because I know first season was only 6 episodes, but what was the one thing that came out of that? Reza and MJ's friendship and how long they've been friends, right? And like she went back and with him and his dad, you know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of real deep reality moments in that first season, except for her going back to New York with him when he sits down with his dad. You know, that was him and her. So I think that already been established. There's a great relationship there. All right, are we just going to continue to push that? Does that get us to season 3? Because it might not get us to season 3. But I know if I throw a grenade at her, you know what I mean? And we tag team her with these 2 bitches. I think we get to season 3, we can make up in season 3. You know what I'm saying?
But I even think knowing what we know now, what he's done to her, it's like it's already starting. He's setting it all up to throw her under the bus. Obviously, he went through her.
But just knowing him, right?
Yes.
And this has nothing to do with my relationship with him or any of that or whatever. Yeah. Just knowing him and things that I've heard him say, he's trying to keep this thing going. He's trying to keep the train going. You know what I mean?
Right.
And anything I got to do to keep it going, I'm going to keep it going, you know? And I'm like, I've heard that from him, right?
Yes.
So now I'm seeing it.
I'm
seeing it though. Now I'm actually like, oh, I see. I see. You know what I mean? Like I see what he's doing here. Like I said, he definitely likes the value of Lily's opinion, because I think, you know, he likes the idea of someone like, you know, the same way that she doesn't really do it for me. I think she does it for him. Like, you know, the pretty face, all long hair, big boobs, skinny. Yeah. I think that he likes that. You know what I mean? Yes. And he wants her approval. And I think with Asa, he doesn't have the history with Asa to make her an enemy. So why not make her an ally? Because I already know, we've seen it countless times, that he could really push an envelope with my wife, and eventually she's going to get over it.
And
right? He doesn't
know
if he's going to get that type of runway with Asa. Right? Yep. He doesn't know if he's going to get that type of runway with Lilly, right? So it's easier just to become allies with them, and we'll throw shit at my wife because I know she'll get over it. You know what I mean? Or at least that's my impression so far.
Well, I mean, and she did when she saw him going through. I thought it was so cute of her. All she did was laugh when he brought up all the contents of her purse.
Yeah, because it's probably not the first time he's done that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But then on camera, it's awful. But at least she took it exactly like he probably.
Well, she was shit-faced too. You know what I mean? She was shit-faced. But, you know, and at the same time, so they're running 2 stories in this episode. We're constantly getting cut back to Gigi and her party that she's throwing. Now, I don't want to, you know, if I'm wrong, my wife could tell me. I'll be the first one to apologize on this episode next year. You will get or next week or whatever. You'll get a full mea culpa. But I can't see her having to do much for that party. Normally, production handles all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I would be interested too. She did have an assistant, but I would be interested to see how much she actually did, because I was pretty impressed myself.
That's what I mean. I don't know how much was done there. I'm sorry, I'm a little jaded. I feel like she didn't really do much. But if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. Maybe they did make her do a lot of shit just for the drama of the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can promise you one thing, that whole hour before the party is nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's bullshit. That's something that they're doing to make, you know, the audience think that you have to sweat, but you could just tell from the light outside. And to when the party started, it's dark. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that's nonsense. I think I
thought she did great.
I'm very surprised that I mean, I think they really did want to send her a message, because I'm very surprised. This type of thing is supposed to be an all cast event. This type of party is supposed to be something where everybody's there and everybody's friends are there. You know what I'm saying? So
She did plan
Especially
this like more as a B2B event, but yes, everybody always supports everyone when they go to these kind of things.
yeah, it's supposed to be one of those type of tent poles that everybody's there and
Which made
everybody's
me feel
talking
bad
up her
for
product.
I did feel bad for Gigi in that sense,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
obviously
for sure.
her
I
sister
mean, listen, I
absolutely
think at
wanted
the
her
end
to
of the day,
fail.
she's kind of made her bed. You know what I
I
mean? A
know.
lot of this is her fault. A lot of the way, the way that she's acted, she's looking to fight everybody.
Yes.
So I think that they kind of brought her down a peg, which is good.
Mhm.
Um, I think
And how
that
poor Layla did not wanna give her a congratulations. She was
not at
so
all, not at all. And you know something? I got to have a conversation with Layla the next time I see her,
yeah,
or even maybe on the pod, because I saw something in this episode that I've never seen before, and that's Gigi really wants her sister's approval.
I know, that made me
Gigi
feel
really
bad.
wants her sister to tell her she's proud of her. She really wants her to say, good job. You know what I mean?
Yes, she
And
does.
I don't think she's ever done it. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
she says she doesn't even remember the last time they had a hug. That, like
Yeah. And you know what? When Gigi had her baby, Layla, Layla's the first that kid fell into Layla's hands first.
oh,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
they are sisters and they do fight a shit ton. But like I think, Layla being the older and having a couple of kids and they have a brother and sister where Gigi's kid doesn't, right?
yeah,
She's got to know that there's a dynamic there with the older kid that sometimes it's upon you to just swallow the shit. And I get it, you know what I mean? In life, if you feel like you're always swallowing it, eventually, you feel like you can't take any more, right?
right.
But I do think that there was a real sweet moment there where Gigi was just very you could have thrown all the stuff in the garbage. None of it mattered. What matters was
Yes,
that her sister was surprised that she pulled it off. And I
yes,
thought that was, um, a humbling things to see. And I think that, it's unfortunate Gigi always has to be a tough guy because if
yes.
she can embrace that vulnerability sometimes, I think it'd be easier for people to be nicer to her.
No, that's for sure. Gigi's like the only, which is kind of embarrassing to admit, she's the only like Bravo celebrity or actually anyone that like is on TV has me blocked on Instagram. So I don't even remember what got
Well, I
me.
know
She's
how ruthless you could be. You know what I mean?
she got me pissed off one like show or something because I always had MJ's back whenever because I would text MJ through while these shows are going on. Obviously for her it's like 6 months past, so she's always like, "What scene?" And then I
Yeah,
would
and
say,
trust me, it could have been the fucking day before, dude. And she'd still be saying, "What? What?
so then I
Who
get
is
all riled
this?"
up, and then I'm one of those awful people that you guys make fun of that start posting like weird things. Like I know these people, and Gigi was the first one to block me.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know she has a trigger finger for that type of
Yes,
shit. I listen. I'm blocked from Gigi for years.
yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't. It is what it is, man.
Well, not to take it personal, then. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
I wouldn't. Um, then and again they're bouncing back and forth. Um, but I was surprised that they didn't have at least someone else there with her. But I guess at this point in time, you also don't know who's the main cast. Like who main cast is, but it's still only season 2. You never know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought I was very surprised that she had to do all that all by her own. Then Omid comes and she has her boyfriend there too. I, even when they're at the end and she's sitting on his lap, they just don't look like they
And
have any
he's
chemistry. They look like they have great chemistry as friends, right?
but he
Like
seemed
I
like
have
he was into her.
girlfriends.
He
The
seemed
one of
like he was
this
into
weekend,
her.
that's one of the weddings. That's the wedding I'm going to. It's one of my girlfriends. That if you saw me and her and hanging out,
Yeah.
you'd see they have like they look like they're lifelong friends. So like we have a chemistry amongst us. But you would never think that like we're getting married.
I
You know
think
what I
that's
mean?
more from, like, Gigi's energy, though. I don't think Gigi was into it. Because I mean, he bought her that pretty jewelry piece. They showed, like, him giving a side eye when she was talking to her ex. You know, like they tried to
Yeah,
paint
oh,
it as
listen,
he
man,
really liked her.
I've met Omid in passing one time at Coachella, but from
Yeah,
the show, I'm a big fan of Omid. I feel like everything he's done already,
yeah,
like, because I've been there, right? I've been in the
right,
situation, so I just like to see how and he's done everything that I think I would do at this point. He stuck up for her when she was kind of hard to stick up for her.
right.
I'm a little surprised he went to that party without her, but he was there and he stuck up for her the whole time he was there. So if he's
Yeah,
going to show up, at least, have her back. And, I thought that was real nice. He came in there with what looked like a real expensive gift.
yeah.
Um,
It could have been also
and
him just securing his space on the show. Who knows? But he seemed like he was
no,
into it.
I don't think that, because again, he didn't like he went away from the show from my understanding.
Yes,
It
he
wasn't
did.
the other way.
He,
So I think it was, a spirit of being genuine. But like you said, that's like you come in, you give someone a nice gift like that right before. There should be something there. It looked like they're about to high five each other and be like, give
yeah,
each other a pound. It just didn't. It doesn't seem like like
is she even? I mean, I don't know if you've seen her, but is she even like a lovey-dovey type of person?
no,
Okay,
no,
then.
no, 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 definitely not.
Well, maybe she's just awkward,
Could
like
be. Could very much be. Could very, very much be that she's just not good, like with that and with the camera. But it's him too. You know what I
yeah,
mean? If I come in and give you a gift like that, and I know that you're my girl, right? Like if you're my girl or you're my better half at this point, there's certain things I know about you, certain things you know about me, right?
right.
And if I know at this point, he should already kind of know, she's gonna clam up on TV, with the cameras here. But like pull her in close, give her a kiss, let her know that you feel like that she's loved or whatever.
Right.
It didn't, like I said, and he looks like like he really cares for her, but it
Yes.
looks like a brother cares for his sister. You know what I mean? Or like a
Yeah,
first cousin, It
right.
doesn't ring to me like heat. You know what I mean?
For
Like when
sure.
you watch me eat my wife's ass on national television. Right? There's some heat there. And it's not just the humidity from that Belizean environment, dude. That Belizean jungle, right? It was
Yeah.
like Tarzan ravages Jane poolside. You know what I mean? And you don't get that from Gigi and Omid. I'm sorry. You don't get that heat, that fire.
That's why I was wondering if it was her. Maybe she just doesn't I don't know. I mean, the
Yeah,
first
no,
time we
could
see her
be. I mean, look throughout the
courtesy.
show. Throughout the show, was she ever with anybody? I mean, as long as I.
Actually, she is with a few. One of them was actually my cousin, and she met part of my family, so that was
But like
interesting.
even the dude she married, bro, looked like they didn't even like each other. Like I was there,
Do
dude, and look, all they
you
did was
know
scream at each other.
why
You know
did
what
she
I
get
mean?
married to him? Do you know? What was
No,
that
they're
about?
not married anymore.
No, 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 I know they're not, but what was that about? Was it
We'll
for,
get to
like
that. I mean, I don't
okay.
want to jump too much into
I know.
you
Sorry,
know what I mean? But
I know all the,
yeah, no, like I was there with them, but they didn't look like it looked like they were enemies. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes when you have that type of passion, then the makeup or whatever is like, oh, that's how they get. But there was none of that either. You know what I mean? It was just like, no, fucking, I don't know. So maybe you're right. Maybe she's just not, it's not good. Maybe on TV too. Like I said, on TV, she always wants to look like a tough ass, in my
yes.
opinion.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and then we're back to Mexico. They're out.
Yeah.
It looks like the fall of Rome at whatever this fucking bar is. They're all getting shit faced. Lily's still there, and I don't get. She eventually just goes home.
She just
Why
leaves.
not go home an hour before? Like, why get it to that? You know what I mean? I'm thinking, oh, so they're probably not letting her leave. You know what I mean? Like production's
Right.
probably like, no, you guys stay, whatever. But if eventually they let her go, then she should have just fucking left an hour before that, because it really made for,
And
it looked like an awkward time. My wife's dancing on the table
and
around her,
everybody's
and
sound
she's
bites are kind of
just sitting there
like
protecting a purse. What's
seriously.
going on?
And everybody's sound bites about her were like making fun of her, you know? I
Yes, I
mean,
think
who does bring a
everybody at the
$52,000 purse into a bar, let alone Cabo, but just a regular bar to like
because, like I
party.
said, she's acting better than the herd, and the
Yeah,
herd is who the show is.
I know.
You know what I mean? If they put her on a different show where, MJ was the odd man out, like, oh, then maybe it's different. But in this case, they all might point and laugh at with my wife, but they're all drinking just as much. They're all getting all as shit faced as much as she is.
Yeah.
So I just think Lily's misplaced. I don't think that, and I think that tonight or at this party, they've all kind of had a fuck enough of it. In fact, Asa has the best point, like about the purse. Like, why would you bring a 15,000? That's literally what I was thinking before she said it. You know, like, why would you bring
it's so big? You don't even carry a big purse to a club to begin with.
No, and you know what that tells me? That tells me you don't have the money that you claim to do, because the people with money would never do that, dude. If they had a $15,000 bag like that, they're smart enough to say, I'm going to take the cheaper one with me to Cabo because it's not my only bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to take the fucking, the real expensive purse that someone just could have just, what's going to happen if someone comes and snatches it and takes off? Nothing, dude. You know what I mean? I've been to Mexico. Nothing. The response time isn't that great. Now, yeah, so.
She's just done it. I mean, obviously she's doing it to show off, or unless.
Yeah. And you look like an idiot to me. You know what I mean? It's like, show off what? You're in a bar in Cabo, like Cabo, Cancun. These are towns just to go get shit-faced, get messy. You know what I mean? Like, when you come back to your hotel at night, you might have bruise marks on your arms. You know what I mean? You might have fucking
of, like wristlets on because you got to.
Yeah, you got like 10 bracelets, some stamps. You know what I mean? You might have an IV. You know, you might have the hospital thing from too. Like, that's what we're going to war, bro. Like, we're coming to attack, and it's definitely not the.
It's hot. The weather's humid. You can tell they're all sweating. You know, everybody's hair is.
This ain't Morocco. You know, for the world traveler she claims to be, you should know where you're going. And you know, like that, like I don't know, man. Like like I said, but it was funny. They all had enough of her. You know, like kind of get, you know.
Catch MJ's note when she says, "Yes, I win."
Yeah, because again, especially within the confines of a television show, by the end of this episode in particular, or this festival, you got to look at my wife in awe, because she's been drinking like a bull. She's hopping on tables. She's letting shit roll off her back. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, and again, you know, like I said, from Reza's standpoint, you know, he even makes that quote at the end about her, because like, he's trying to get this thing to be good, right? And there's nothing better than what he just watched. You know what I mean? Like, she was a fucking mess. And then, like you said, they come back to the room and they go rooting through a purse. I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. She took that a lot better than I would have took that.
Good.
You know, purse, whatever it is. Like, don't go through my shit, dude. You know what I'm saying?
And it's also the accusation, you know, like, of claiming or pinning, like, being a pill popper is not great for your reputation, especially since she's a real estate agent at this time, full time. So, like, for him to even do that is just awful.
Yeah, and again, man, like, who the fuck knows what anybody else there is doing, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
we do know they're all messes at this point. So, like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and truth be told, that green bottle that she had, she carried around that. She did carry her pet's medication in that.
No, I believe
when I met her. You know what I mean? Now, why that pet medication is with her in fucking Cabo, I can't explain that. I don't know why. But I do know that she used to bring, because Pablo and Julio, like, they had fucking, you know, they had a lot wrong with them, man. They were like 60 pounds overweight, those fucking dogs. And she used to, you know,
bite my ankles.
Yeah, man. So, but like, I love that it rolled right off her back. Like, that was supposed to be a dun 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 moment. Yes. She was like, whatever, man, you know, party over Cabo.
It was supposed to be, in his mind, you know, she was supposed to like throw a fit. It was supposed to be crazy. She was probably meant to throw things and cause a scene, as I bet you what Reza wanted.
Well, I do think that it helped that Lilly wasn't there and she went to bed already. Because Asa, I think at this point, had already had a moment with my wife at the breakfast when they hugged it out. And like that was a good moment. You know what I mean? And Asa apologized. And I think she was right to apologize. Not right to be accusing people, especially again, you know what I mean? No one knows what's going on in anybody else's backyard either, you know? So I don't think she wasn't going to, it would be real hypocritical at this point to go back at her with the claws out. And residents say it in a, you know, accusational way. It was like, anybody have a volume? So he kept it light. It was light. But I think if Lilly was there, it wouldn't have been light because she's been trying to create this, my wife's a drug addict thing the whole
I
time,
know. Yeah.
But then the night turned cool, you know what I mean? They chase each other around around the building. And she is, man, she's a bull, bro. Like
Yes.
people don't get it, dude. She is a bull in a china shop.
Yes.
She's short and she's compact and
And I
she
know you've
packs a
said
bunch.
this,
She's very strong, dude. She's
and
very
I know you
strong.
said this many other episodes before, but truly, she's chased me around in the condo building before, like after having like a Sunday fun day at the pool. Her and I
100%.
have done the exact same thing.
Yeah,
So
no, where she's chasing you, like,
that's
what are you
her.
doing? What do you want? You know what I mean? She's got this look in her face where she's like, I don't, yeah, man, listen, man, she's a good time. You know what I
Yes.
mean? She's a good
Yeah,
time.
she
I,
totally
uh,
is.
but I am relieved. I would hope to think that most of that type of, not to say it's gone. But I hope she put a lot of that behind her. You know what I mean? It's fun, but not when
I
you
think
got it
she
like,
knows there's a time or a place, obviously.
yes. Thank you for bailing me out. I
Yeah.
couldn't get to. I took
I
a
mean,
real circuitous route to get to what you just said.
and I'm
That's
pretty
exactly
sure
my point.
when she's in Palm Springs with her gays,
Go
that's when
nuts.
it can come out. She's never like gotten herself like I've never seen her too drunk. Like she handles herself well. She drinks a lot
Yeah,
from, our olden back days,
yeah,
but
yeah. No,
it's
she could
just that's
pack.
who
She
she
could
is,
put them down.
exactly how she is on the show for others that I could attest
Yes,
to.
yes, yes. I think that she is the oasis in the reality TV desert because most of them I don't think are, truly themselves, where she truly is herself.
Yes.
And this was a good episode to see it. She was, you know, she
How's it
was
been for you watching? Because every time I started the rewatch, as you were doing this, and I would text her and say, "Oh, I feel so bad when Tommy has to see this episode coming up," because I would cringe watching her in some sort.
no, I mean, listen, she's my wife, right? You know what I mean? Like I know her better than anyone. Like I've seen her act the fool. I've acted a fool.
Yeah,
And like I said, if you follow me around with cameras doing some crazy shit, people will be like, wow, this guy's crazy too. There's a reason why we ended up together, right?
I know,
So
I know.
I, the only, part so far that made me uncomfortable was that blind date that she went on.
Yes,
That
yeah,
was like, it was cringy. Like, what the fuck is going
very.
on here? You
And
know what
like
I
to your
mean?
point, I'm surprised
You
they
literally
even.
ran into oncoming traffic to get out of there, dude. Like,
I know, I know.
that's not, and again, in today's climate, that's weird. But everything else, I kind of, now also you got to understand that I've never seen any of these episodes,
I
but I've been
know. That's what
prepared.
I mean.
I've
Yeah,
been prepared though.
that's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like there's memes of my wife waterfalling fucking vodka. I think there's like 5 different ones. You know
The
what I mean?
bathtub,
So
her
like
falling
it's
into
like
the bathtub is my favorite one.
yeah, to Vegas when she fucking falls in the hot. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I've seen a few of these, or I've have people tell me about them. So nothing's coming with too big of a shock at this point. I am a little surprised in this episode how much he put down collectively,
Oh,
right?
I
Because
mean,
it's not
it
just this
continued.
party. I know how these things go, man. Like I said, they drank going there. They get off. Woo, we got to turn up. All right, they go to the pool. They got a pool scene. They got to turn up. They go to the fucking dinner. You think that was a fucking the Last Supper? You think all they were
Nope.
having was fucking wafers and blood and wine? You
We're
know what I
only
mean?
watching we're really only watching them take maybe, like, no more than 4 drinks, but we know
Yeah,
there's been
no,
alcohol.
they've been drinking heavy, and she's been drinking
Yes.
heavy, and she's still pretty good. You know what I mean? She's still pretty good, especially at her age. Because the other thing we found out in this is, she lies about her age, and yes, she lies. Like I'm still not. If you strap me to a polygraph, dude, I don't know
She
if
and
I
she
really
knows
know for sure.
well, she knows I know her age, so I 1 year, because 'cause I'll text her,
Yeah,
"Happy
you
birthday."
think? You think
Yeah.
you know? Like I
Uh,
said, if you want to have the most uncomfortable five
yes,
to 8 seconds of your life,
yes.
just ask Vita. Ask Darth Vita. How old are you, Darth
Yeah.
Vita? What year were you born?
Oh,
You
yes.
know, any
Yeah.
of those things, bro, trust me when I tell you, you will not like what's coming back at you. You will
And
not
even,
like it.
are you
That is a
surprised?
very
And
rude
I
question.
guess
That's
surprise
very
is not
rude.
the
That's
right
very
word.
rude. You don't ask
Yes.
people age. You what? Why
I guess
not?
surprise is not the right word, but like, is it weird? I guess you already know Vita really well, but is it crazy to see how um vocal she is to and mean to Mercedes on the show?
No, because like
No.
I said before, I even knew there was a show.
Right.
Like when we first shacked up together, she would get into crazy fights with her mother, dude. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like on the phone
Right.
and a two-way street. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so when they're both saying real nasty shit to each other, it's like, whoa. I had not to say I don't that every girl I know loves their mother,
Yeah.
but that was I definitely never experienced anything like that prior to. And I think that again, the worst thing that ever happened to that relationship or to Vita in general was putting her on fucking television because it validated everything she's ever done or said. There's
Well, because
people
she
that
has
tell her,
so
I
many
love you.
fans.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she has
You're
so
like,
many
you're the
fans.
best. You say what's real. She literally has fans. So
She
like, are you
loves
going to
it.
tell her she's wrong when she has a whole bunch of people agree? All Vita needs is two people fucking telling her she's right, dude. You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Now she's got 2,000. It's
And
yeah,
I
it's
was
not it's
well,
not good
I've
for the
always known
relationship.
her, like, I've known her just from the building and her dad. Oh my gosh, the episodes with her dad have made me cry. I lost my parents, which,
Mm,
Mercedes has been very great. Like, she's, talked to my mom because my mom was a fan of hers, and I've texted, Mercedes a lot about grief and everything, and seeing her dad in the episode when she was, like, giving him a haircut, I cried so much
yeah, it
just to
was nice
see,
to
like,
see
the
that.
tenderness and, like, knowing that Shams is going to see, like, how
Yeah, it
what
was
a
nice.
beautiful man
Plus,
he is.
I mean, obviously he wasn't 100%, but he was
No.
like he only got worse, right? So at that moment in time, he's at I mean, or around that area because I'm not in the picture yet either. But I'm saying
Yeah.
he's still like that when I met him,
Yeah. I
and
mean, and I would see him all the time at the pool as well. Vita, I was shocked to see that that's what her personality was like because I would just know her from the building and you know how
and
she is in
and
front of
she's nice
people.
around the building. She
Yeah.
is. She
I was
is.
shocked that she was that awful. But I mean, and her dad, I was
Yeah, and he's so nice.
so
I don't
sweet.
understand. Like the car rides when they were younger had to be fucking crazy, dude.
The
That'd be
bird.
crazy. Oh man, I don't know how that guy didn't drive into oncoming traffic, dude. Fucking fuck this, man. I
Mercedes
can't
has
listen to
so
this
much
shit anymore.
patience. I don't think I could have. She has so much patience with her mom.
Oh yeah, crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I think it's from a lifetime of dealing with it. And but the good part is it also means she has so much patience with Shams. Like she really does. She has a
Oh,
ton of patience with him.
has
There's
he
nothing
seen anything like has I know he's not gonna see obviously now, but the scenes with his, grandpa or anything?
yes. When I watched it,
Oh, really?
we showed him that. And
What did
yeah, it was
he
cool, man. It was cool. It was cool. And he knows who his grandpa is. Like he knows. Like he said it. You know what I mean? Because we got pictures and stuff around. So right
Yeah.
away he said it, which was cool.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. It was a good time. And we'll eventually have to show him this type of shit too. It'll probably have to be the first time she yells at him for like coming home late or some shit. Like, yeah, let's watch your mother. And let's watch your 40-plus-year-old mother
She could only
dancing on tables in Cabo
She
doing
could only
body
see when
shots.
she was, like, acting. I mean, I'm sure she's gonna get around it knowing
Yeah, she was
Mercedes.
acting like she was drunk. Nailed it. Someone should give her an Emmy.
She
She got an Emmy, an Oscar, a Golden Globe, fucking a Peabody,
you
whatever
can
the
tell
hell
when
awards they giving out, she should get it because she
you can
fucking
tell when
nailed it.
she's drunk because her eyes are just gone.
Yes, yes. When they start spinning like that, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Time to get her. Time to get her home. It's time to get her to her room. Yes, yes. Well, this was Yvette. This was a lot of fun, man. This is a lot of fun. I appreciate you filling in
Of
last
course.
minute. Thank you for
I'm here
stepping
for
up.
any
I
fill-ins.
really appreciate it. You came in the clutch because I'm not going to be here, and I really want an episode to come out every week. And then
Yes.
I had a last minute cancellation. You filled in. You came guns a blazing, girl. Thank you
Yes.
so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody checking out the pod. And you guys all have a great week. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.